We start with our month-long investigation into human trafficking.
Doctors and nurses, they are often on the front lines of this crisis. At CRMC, there's a unique training program that arms nurses with the knowledge to save lives and provide a lifeline to those stuck in the cycle of human trafficking.
For a patient to come and tell you how they feel or at their worst time, I always tell people, you don't want to tell, I won't tell you about my favorite sexual experience, but this person's going to tell you about their worst. And I want to give them their empowerment back because someone took that away from them or attempted to take it away from them.
Karen Reed Williams was brought to tears talking about the sex assault victims she meets as a registered nurse at CRMC. Karen is the Sexual Assault Forensic Evidence Program Coordinator, also known as SAFE, for the emergency department.
What are certain things that you're looking for?
You know, if I'm asking a question and the person keeps looking at the person that's with them, if I ask certain questions like, hey, where do you get that bruise from? And they, oh, you know, I walk in the door.
Karen says they work to isolate sex assault victims in hopes they will open up privately and away from the person who escorted them to the hospital. To pimps, sex workers are valuable and they can stand in the way of getting them back on the streets so they can make money.
Recently, I know we had one that was arrested because he was so aggressive. He was getting very agitated to the point where he's like, hey, you know what, let's go. And the patient did not want to leave.
In her 19-year career, Karen says she has noticed a change when it comes to younger victims and their willingness to come forward and speak out.
Men are reporting more now. Not as much as, you know, women would, but men are coming in. We have patients that are just young, but I've seen where the hospitals, this CRMC supports the program more. And before then, I think it was more like a, well, you know, I guess we could have the program. But after a while now, it's like the hospital is more, and our leadership, my ED leadership is supportive of this program.
They find people aren't initially forthcoming with information at the beginning, but they will show you signs physically that there's more to the story.
Laura Guido is one of 6 nurses Karen has trained for the SAFE program. Laura is a dedicated nurse at CRMC, but her most important job is mom.
I have a 7-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 17-year-old, almost 18.
This is a tough topic, right? Human trafficking. A lot of people don't want to talk about it.
No, they don't, including my kids. I've learned over time, so I have almost 18 years now of being a mom, that they know when you're nervous, and so I had to teach myself to be to the point and use direct medical terms and just be straight with them about the realities of what could or could not happen.
And from this mom to other moms and dads, Laura says they are seeing more trafficking victims lured in online.
In my experience, it's talking on Facebook or online and thinking you're speaking to someone your age, and then you sneak out of the house to go meet them, and it turns out to be an older man. I feel like more and more cases are coming in like that, where they met someone online and then something terrible happened.
That's scary.
It is. It is very scary, especially when, I mean, school now, you can't even go to grade school. Everything's on the computer. So it's kind of like, how do I keep my kids safe?
Like Karen, Laura also got emotional when speaking about her young patients. When they meet, she says many are scared, broken, and confused.
I put myself in their shoes, and I just, when they tell me their stories, I can almost feel how painful or scary it would be. A lot of times when I start my interview with somebody, I have to remind myself to just do my job and get through it, because it's not professional to cry in front of them. But I can't imagine how scared it would be to be in that situation. The only thing I can do is try to protect them afterwards.
It's a tough job, an emotional job. But for this small but mighty group of specially trained nurses, the life-saving work continues right here in the Central Valley.
It can be a job that could get you burnt out. But when you have that patient that looks at you like, thank you, or they want to give you a hug at the end of an exam, there's no amount of money that, that feeling could buy.
And there are just 6 SAFE nurses. I am told last year they treated more than 150 sexual assault victims and identified at least 2 confirmed cases of human trafficking.